Hello again, everyone. I'm Jim Cowan, and I'm back again from the UArts Libraries to talk more about library resources. In this session, we're going to take a quick look at some of the article databases we have access to. And of course, you have access to as part of the university community. You might have heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again. To get started, let's go to library.uarts.edu. All right, once you are at library.uarts.edu, you might have seen me already talk about OneSearch, which is in the top left here. As I mentioned, OneSearch tries to search everything. So some of the databases we'll be taking a look at today, OneSearch will also be searching for you, but some of them it can't. So let me show you what I mean. Under online resources, the second link is for articles. If we click that, and I hope I don't make anybody dizzy as I scroll, you can see we have a bunch of article databases we subscribe to. We do recommend that you start with OneSearch because it does a pretty good job of pulling information from all these different databases. But under our next steps, the first one you'll see is the New York Times. That's a great example where OneSearch is not going to be up to the minute with the New York Times. A lot of what you can find in the New York Times won't come up in OneSearch. And in fact, to take full advantage of the library institutional subscription we have to the New York Times, you actually have to create your own account. And you have to do this annually. So every year you're here, you can create an account, get full access to the New York Times. Fair warning, this subscription, the institutional subscription, I should say, does not include the crossword puzzle. So if you're a crossword puzzle junkie, you do have to sign up for that separately. But if you create your account first, which is again free through the university libraries, the crossword puzzle is actually half price for you once you create your account. So there you go. And I strongly recommend doing this from a computer or a tablet. You can just go to the New York Times website and check everything out, or you can download the app for your phone, and then you can sign up for updates too. So as the theater liaison, I get the theater update from New York, I get the books update, and I get the headline update. And you can customize that to your liking. So I strongly recommend checking that out. Let's keep going down the list. We also have ProQuest, the arts. If you are into the performing arts, film, television, a lot of great resources there. OneSearch does a pretty good job, and I'm going to go ahead and click that. OneSearch does a pretty good job of searching this database, but sometimes going in directly will find more things. So let's just do a quick search on Miles Davis. I am in music mode right now. And here you can see we've got some articles from Downbeat, some scholarly articles, lots of different resources. And much like OneSearch, you're going to see a lot of the same kind of things. On the left-hand side here, you can limit to full text, which is essentially things you have immediate access to. You can limit to peer-reviewed. Anytime you see peer-reviewed, scholarly, academic journal, they kind of mean the same thing. Again, it's further broken out down here. You can limit it by date if you only want something recent. And as the librarian in me, I have to say, always check the subject headers. If you were looking for information about Miles's recordings, you can click on musical recordings and it'll help you lower your results. And also, like OneSearch, there is an advanced search option. So if you want to go a little deeper right from the get-go, click on advanced search and use some more of their features. Again, ProQuest is great for the performing arts, music, theater, dance, as well as information on film and television. So when you have 5 minutes, check it out. Art History Net, Art History Research Net is another fun resource for the visual arts. It's heavy on, as it says there, it's heavy on art, it's heavy on design, industrial design as well, and architecture. Lots of good information on architecture here. A lot of the resources are 19th, 20th century and pulled, I would say it's fair to say it's very heavy on English art and resources. A lot of interesting stuff. This little thing they're doing on the poster I found really interesting. Again, if you're a visual arts person, be it a visual arts student or you're just interested in the visual arts, I would spend a few minutes hopping around this site. And again, if you need more information on this, you can reach out to myself or my colleague Laura Grutzik. We'd be more than happy to take you through this. I'm going to keep going so I don't keep you here all day. We're going to skip the directory of open access journals and the Chronicle of Higher Education, both great resources, but we're going to hold off on them for now. EBSCOhost, I will just mention, is the provider of OneSearch, so you really don't have to go into EBSCOhost unless for some reason you really like EBSCOhost, in which case more power to you. For any of you people that are in the instruction, the education program here, ERIC is a great resource if you're not familiar with it. It's run by the government, so it's a .gov. And it does have some full text articles, as you'll be seeing a lot. You can limit to full text articles right out of the gate. You can limit to peer-reviewed articles, but it is an index. So you will find a lot of things in here that aren't in full text. But that's okay. If you find something in here you want that it doesn't seem we have access to, shoot me an email and we will try to find it for you, either in our librarian ways or through interlibrary loan. I'm going to click on the thesaurus real quick too. I find this pretty handy. So say, for example, you're interested on some form of education and interacting with teenagers. So I do a search on teenagers, and what do I get? Nothing. So I think, well, that's weird. You think teenagers would be in an education thesaurus, but if I give it a little thought, and I apologize in advance for my spelling of this. So close. Adolescent is a much more preferred word for teenagers. Kind of means the same thing, but it has a little bit more of an academic, a little bit more of a scientific, a little bit more of an educational feel to it. So if you were to come in here and look up teenagers, you might find some things that are, they use the word teenagers in the text of the article. To really get deep into it, you might want to use adolescents. And that would be the same thing too in the library catalog. Adolescent is going to be preferred over, say, teenagers. So ERIC is a great resource for any of you people there looking to become teachers. JSTOR I will mention briefly. We subscribe to a bunch of the art and sciences JSTOR resources. Everything in here is scholarly, meaning if you know you need to find something from a scholarly peer-reviewed journal, this is a great place to do it. It doesn't, as I've mentioned before, I love subject headings. They don't have as many subject headings in here. And it is very archival, so you're going to find older things in here. Up to fairly recent, but not very, 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 very recent. But again, for scholarly stuff, it's a great place to go, and you're going to find the same kind of things, advanced searches, limiters once you do a search, things of that nature. Only a couple more to go. Thanks for hanging in with me. The next one I'm just going to mention real quickly is Life Magazine. This is actually a Google project, but it's great if you want to see stuff from the back in the day, the way vacuum cleaners were made or marketed back from the 30s. It's a great place just to hang out and check out. I'm a big fan. Literature Criticism Online, I'll just mention in passing as well too. If you're doing something on literature, it's a great place to get started. It's a huge resource. You'll find lots of things in there as well. As your music librarian, you might be surprised to hear me say this, but I'm going to skip Rome, the abstracts and musical literature. I'm actually pushing to get rid of that one. It has a lot more indexing than it does full text, and a couple of new resources have came out that I think would be better suited for our campus community. We are constantly evaluating our holdings, so every once in a while you will see something coming and going. When we get to the video page, I'll mention another example of that. But yeah, so we can ignore Realm. And last but not least, on the flip side, the music librarian in me has to point out Rock's back pages. It was started by journalists, so it's not like most of our databases where we have deals with publishers. This is a deal with an independent company that really started doing it for themselves so that other music journalists can find out what other people are writing. So articles from back in the day don't get lost to time and space. It's a great resource. When they say rock, they mean essentially everything except for classical. So if you're into jazz, hip hop, dance music, krautrock, it's all going to be in here. A lot of great resources. You'll see some free things on the left. In the middle are all the things the most recent things they've added that we get as paying customers. And they even have audio interviews. So you can look up lots of different artists and listen to, I should say, great interviews with these people. So obviously I'm a little biased as your music librarian, but I'm a big fan of Rock's back pages. So in a nutshell, that is my very quick overview of the article databases we have here at UArts. There's a lot more we could talk about. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm more than happy to take them. Have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon.